Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today I will discuss about proposition. I will discuss in detail about its concept and classification, and it is very important topic from the logical reasoning portion. And if you learn this concept very well about proposition, then it will help you to learn more about moods and figures and classical square of opposition and other topics. So those who are watching my video for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. The thing is that what is proposition? The very first question. So proposition is something that is assumed to be true. It's an assumption. It's not true in actual sense, but it is assumed to be true, and from that assumption it led to the draw of conclusion, right? So it consists of four types. The first one is quantifier, then subject, then predicate, then copula. We will understand all these four types with the help of example. Here we have example that all bats are boys. Here all is denoting the quantity of the subject, so it will act as a quantifier. Bat is subject, boys are predicate, and copula is like auxiliary verb that connects subject and predicate. So here R will act as a copula. We will take another example, like another example is some boys are bats. Okay, so here some is representing the quantity of the subject, so some will act as a quantifier, boys will act as a subject, bats will act as a predicate, and R will act as a copula. Okay, I hope it is clear to you that what is proposition and what are its types. Next we have classification, very important. So under classification, the first one is universal, positive or affirmative. It is denoted by A and it is known as A type proposition. So what is about this classification? So it distributes the subject only, we will understand this, and predicate is not interchangeable with the subject. Okay, these are the two qualities of universal positive. So we have an example here, all bats are boys. So all bats are boys, right? It distributes the subject. When we say that something distributes the subject, then that means that particular thing, that particular subject is taken as a whole. Here boy is taken as a whole, all boys, all bats. So here bats are taken as a whole, that means bat is distributed, and boys is not taken as a whole, so boys will remain as undistributed. So first understand about what is distributed and what is undistributed. Distributed is something which represents the whole class. So here all bats, it represents the whole class of bats, so it will become distributed. Similarly, other example is all cats are animals. So here it is representing whole class of cat, that means this cat will become distributed. And in these two examples, these bats and cats are what? They are subject. So subjects are distributed under universal positive. Now next we will understand how do we say that this sentence is universal positive. The first thing is that here it is representing all, that means it is talking about everything, all, so it is universally applicable, and the sentence is in positive, so it is going to be known as universal positive. Okay, and as you know, as I have told you about proposition, that it can be anything, sentence, statement, argument, premise. So here this will act as a proposition, universal positive proposition, denoted by A and also known as A type proposition. I hope you must have understood how we define something as distributed or how we define something as not distributed. Okay, next we have universal negative. It is denoted by E, that is why it is also known as E type proposition. It denotes exclusion, and in this both the subjects and predicates are distributed. So we will understand these two qualities with the help of example. Here we have an example, no fish are birds. So this is the whole class of fish and this is the whole class of birds, right? So no fish are birds, that means no birds are fish, both are true, and these two group, they are exclusive in nature, they are representing exclusion, and they are representing the whole class of fish and whole class of bird. When it comes that it represents whole, because the sentence is in universal, right? It is talking about universally about whole fish, about whole birds, then these both the things will get distributed. That is why in this both the subject and the predicates are distributed, because we talk about whole, all at the universal level. Similarly, we have another example, no men are perfect. Okay, so here we are representing the whole class of men, that means it is going to be distributed. Similarly, this perfect, No men are perfect, that means no perfect are men. So here perfect is also denoting the whole class of perfect. So it will also become as distributed. That is why in this both the subject and the predicate are distributed. And how this sentence is universal negative? Because it is talking about no, so it is negative, and it's talking about the whole species of fish or whole species or whole class of men. So it is going to be universal negative, denoted by E. Next we have particular positive. It is denoted by I. That is why it is also known as I type proposition. In this, neither the subject nor the predicates are distributed. We will understand it with the help of example. Here we have an example. Some men are foolish. That is some men are foolish. That means this is for men, this is for foolish. If some men are foolish, that means some foolish are also men, because they are sharing this portion of some. So here what we see, it is not representing the whole class of men, just particular, a small group of men. It's not representing the whole class. When it is not representing the whole class of men, that is subject here, that means it can't be distributed. Similarly, for the foolish thing, just have a look. It is not representing the whole class of foolish who are men. It is just representing a portion. So when it is representing a portion, it will become undistributed. It can't be distributed. So here predicate is also not distributed. Okay. I hope this diagram must have helped you to understand how it is distributed and how it is not distributed. Next we have particular negative. It is represented by O, and that is why it is known as O type proposition. Under this, only predicates are distributed. This is very interesting. So we will understand it with the help of example, like some birds are not carnivores. This is the thing, no? It's talking about some. So here it is talking about some bird. That means not the whole bird, whole class of bird or whole species of bird. That means this bird is going to be undistributed, and here bird is a subject, so subject is undistributed. But when we talk about carnivores, it is representing the whole class of carnivores. Okay, so it is going to be distributed, and here it is acting as a predicate. And how do we say that this sentence is in particular negative? So just have a look that it is talking about some, then it becomes particular, and it is in negative, so it is particular negative. Similarly, in this sentence it is talking about some, then it is going to be particular, and the sentence is in positive, so it is going to be particular positive. So this was about the classification of proposition, and they are very important. They will help you to understand the upcoming topic as well. So please build the concept very well. Next we have things about terms. Okay, so whatever premises, statement or argument you have, from that you can draw the terms. So here we have two premises, premise 1 and premise 2, and these two premises, it will help you to identify the middle terms. Always remember, we identify middle term from the premises, not from the conclusion. It has got nothing to do with the conclusion. Everything is on premises. So what is middle term? Whatever thing is common in the two premises will act as a middle term. So here animals and animals are common, so the middle term is going to be animal. Okay, and in Indian logic, middle term is known by another name, that is linga. Please do remember the Indian name as well. Similarly, to draw major terms and minor terms, we rely completely on conclusion. Okay, so the subject of conclusion is always minor term. Okay, so here cat is a minor term. Similarly, predicate of a conclusion is always a major term. So here the major term is water and minor term is cat. And in Indian logic, major term is known by another name, that is known as sadhya, and minor term is known by another name, that is known as paksha. And these are very important. You will have questions where you will be asked to identify the terms, major terms, minor terms, middle terms, or to identify the linga, paksha or sadhya. So you should know the Indian logical name as well. Okay, in the upcoming video I will talk about the classical square of opposition, and it is very important topic, and this topic relies completely on the classification of proposition. So If you understand the classification of proposition well, then you can understand it also very easily. So guys, this was for today. If you like this video, then please like it, share it and subscribe to the channel. You can join us on Instagram and Telegram. All the links are given in the description box below. And we are launching quiz on this topic in the upcoming week. So join us on Telegram or follow us on Instagram for the quiz link. Thank you.